Alright, when we add or subtract radicals, you have to remember that the piece under the radical has to be the same in order to add or subtract. Once they're the same, you add or subtract the outside, and you keep the inside the same. So for the first problem we have, the number in front of the radical 2 is a 1. The radicals are exactly the same, so 1 plus 5 is 6, and then you keep the radical, so 6 radical 2. In the next problem, radical 50 and radical 2 are not the same, so we have to force it to be the same. The way we do that is we break down 50. 50 breaks down to 25 and 2. 25 breaks down to 5 and 5. Circle up pairs, so you have a 5, you have a radical 2 left over, plus radical 2, and this is just like the last problem, 5 plus 1 is 6, keep the inside, 6 radical 2. For the next one, let's simplify these radicals so that way we can try to add or subtract these things together. Now, 24 breaks down to 6 and 4, 6 breaks down to 3 and 2, 4 breaks down to 2 and 2. You have a pair of 2's that are going to come on the outside and multiply with the 4 that's already out there, so that's going to be an 8. And b cubed on the inside, you have one pair of b's. Remember, you got 3 b's lined up, you got one pair of b's that you could circle. So you have one pair of b's that can come out with the b that's already out there. B times b is b squared. Radical, you have 6 left over, 3 times 2, and you have 1 b left over, so 6b. Same idea with 54, b to the 5th. 54 breaks down to 9 and 6, 9 breaks down to 3 and 3, 6 breaks down to 3 and 2. Pair of 3's can circle, so you're going to have plus 3. B to the 5th, you got 5 b's lined up, you have 2 pairs, so b squared. Radical, you have a 6 and a b left over. Notice your radicals are the same, so you can add the outside. 8b squared plus 3b squared is 11b squared. I'm going to write it up here. And then radical 6b. For the next one is actually, even though it might look a little bit difficult because it's got x's in it, it's pretty easy. Because the square root of 9 is 3. So it's 3 radical x. Again, x cannot come out because it's only one x. You got to be able to take out sets of 2. Radical 25x can come out as 5 radical x. Radicals are the same, so 3 minus 5 is negative 2 radical x. The next two problems deal with just solving equations. And what we're going to do is try to solve for x. For the first one, if I were to try to solve for x, I would add radical 3. So you get 5x equals radical 48 plus radical 3. Well, 48, we got to break that down so that way we can try to add these two radicals together. 48 breaks down to 16 and 3. 16 breaks down to 4 and 4. 4's break down to 2's. 2 pairs of 2's can circle up. They go on the outside, so it'll be 2 times 2 is a 4. Radical, you got a 3 left over, plus radical 3. 4 radical 3 plus radical 3 is 5 radical 3. So we get 5x equals 5 radical 3. To solve for x, we divide by 5. When you divide by 5, these 5's can cancel, so you're left with x equals radical 3. Same idea over here. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to get a's on one side and radicals on the other. So I'm going to subtract the a, and I'm also going to subtract the radical 6. 4a minus a is 3a equals radical 96 minus radical 6. In order to subtract those radicals, you need to simplify the radical 96. So if I break down 96, I know it breaks down to, is it 16 and 6? 6 breaks down to 3 and 2. 16 breaks down to 4 and 4. 2 and 2, 2 and 2. Circle up pairs. So it goes on the outside as a 4. You have a 6 left over, 3 times 2. So it's going to be 3a equals 4 radical 6 minus radical 6. 4 radical 6 minus radical 6 is 3 radical 6. To solve for a, we divide by 3. And just like in the last problem, 3's can cancel. So you get a equals radical 6 as your final answer there. One more word problem here. It says the lengths of the legs of a right triangle are radical 18 and radical 32. That's for this side. Find the hypotenuse. So just like yesterday, what we're going to do is Pythagorean theorem. So it's going to be radical 18 squared plus radical 32 squared equals x squared. When you square a radical, if you don't believe me, you can type it in your calculator, but you just get the piece under the radical. So radical 18 squared is just 18. Radical 32 squared is just 32. Equals x squared. Add them up, and we end up getting 50. Take the square root. 50 breaks down to 25 and 2, which breaks down to 5 and 5. So you get 5 on the outside, radical 2. So that's part A there, where it says find the length of the hypotenuse. To find the perimeter, what you do is you need to add up all the sides. So we would take, let me move over a little bit. We would take radical 18 plus radical 32 plus 5 radical 2. In order to add them up, you need to have like radicals. So let's break down 18. 18 breaks down to 9 and 2, 3 and 3. So this becomes 3 radical 2 plus 32, same idea. Breaks down to 16 and 2, 4 and 4, 2 and 2, 2 and 2. 2 pairs of 2's will come out as a 4 radical 2. And 5 radical 2's all set already. All the radicals are the same, so you add the outside, keep the inside. You end up getting 12 radical 2 as a final answer there. Now you go ahead and work on the 2 do now problems now.